Maybe I should put my glasses on so I can hide a little bit. No, I'm just kidding. Okay, so you heard a little about my business. Again, my name is Marissa Myers. I am actually co-founder of Team Aloha with my partner, Chuck, sitting over there. And we don't have a huge local team, but we do have a team spread all over the US. And we got started, basically, the reason we're named Team Aloha, by the way, is because it actually means to breathe life. And that's what we're doing with Beachbody. We're breathing life into people in the world. I'm going to cry. I'm sorry, you guys. It's going to happen. Like, probably 5 times. So how I got started was... Okay, so I had worked out my whole life. I actually, in this picture, was running a marathon. I was doing CrossFit. I had done boot camps. And my weight always fluctuated up and down, maybe 20, 25 pounds. And my coach introduced me to Insanity, and I was about 3 minutes into the warm-up, and I was like, oh my God, how am I ever going to be able to finish this thing? So I actually bought it, and it sat on my shelf for 6 months, collecting dust. And I did it a few times, but I just didn't have the energy to do it. And at the time, I was working on my master's, so I made the excuse that I didn't have the time. Well, obviously during my master's I wasn't really working out that much, so I gained a little bit of weight and I decided I'm going to do this when I finished full on, 60 days. And I started losing weight. I think over the next, I don't even know exactly, the next 4 or 5 months I lost 20 pounds. And I've been able to keep it off for 3 years. So that's the important part there. It's like I'm not gaining anymore, I'm just staying where I am. So people at work started noticing that I was losing weight and asking me what I was doing. So I sent them to Beachbody to order Insanity, because I really didn't know that much about the coaching opportunity at the time. And then little by little my coach had kind of planted seeds of me becoming a coach. I was like, nah, I don't really want to do that. I don't think so. I'm not really into that. And then she invited me to the Shaun T workout 3 years ago, and Christina and Becky, I remember it was the first time I saw you. You were in front with your diamond pack, and I was like, who is this girl? And who are all these people? I was like, oh my God, there's like 100 people here, and I don't know any of them. And everyone went up and shared their story, and I was like, all right, this looks pretty cool, I'm going to do it. So I convinced my partner to join me, and we started our journey on our team. For the next 6 months, we didn't know what we were doing, and we failed miserably. I went around vomiting all over people. Yes, Insanity, you have to do it in Shakeology. Yeah, it's so good, it's awesome, try it. And nobody wanted what I was talking about, and I was like, oh man, what am I doing wrong? So January rolls around, and it was a Super Saturday event with Lindsay Matway, and Carl Daikeler was actually going to be at the event. And I'm like, well, maybe we should drive to Tampa and check out this event and see what this thing is all about. So we go up there, and when they did that thing where they had everybody stand up for over 10, 20, 30, 40, 80 pounds, and I saw like 5 people still standing when they said, have you lost over 80 pounds? I got chills, and I just started crying, and I was like, wow, this is so much bigger than any one of us. It's such a huge mission that we have. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, I don't usually get this emotional, but hey. Thank you. Thank you. And I realized how big our mission is at that moment, and I said, you know what, I'm going to learn how to do this. And for the next, I don't know, year or so, I just followed leaders and I asked questions, and Liz Point and I drove back and forth to Tampa for every event that Lindsay put on, and I picked her brain because she had been in the business longer, and I asked anybody and everybody their secrets and anyone from my upline, crossline, wherever, I didn't care. I absorbed as much knowledge as I could so that I could learn how to do this business. And when Liz told me about the 5-step process, I was like, all right, sweet, I tried it. I got my challengers, it was working. I was like, sweet, I finally figured it out. I got the clue, it's the 5-step process. And I put people on challenge groups, and they would last for about 30 days, and then it would just all go quiet, and I'd be posting to an empty group, and I'm like, man, okay, well, I got these people to sign up, but they're falling off as soon as I get them to sign up. So then again, kept picking people's brains, trial and error. We started doing competitions, contests in our challenge groups. I started picking other leaders' brains and watching other leaders like Becky and Christina and other people that were doing things with their businesses. And eventually, we got it down, finally, and people started losing weight, and people started having success. And when they started having success, their friends started noticing, and then they wanted to become coaches. And then all of a sudden, just organically, this thing started to build. And I was like, wow, it's really happening, you know? And all I have to do is focus on them, getting their results. And as long as I do that, then my business is just going to grow. So it's not about you, it's about them. And the more you focus on them, the more your business will grow. So since that time, now I've been in the business for 2 years, and I actually was a nurse. I went into nursing 10 years ago. I've been a nurse for 10 years. And when I was working on my master's, I always wanted to help people. That's why I went into nursing in the first place. And I decided that being in the ICU was a little bit discouraging because I saw people with diabetes and high blood pressure, and they were on like at 5 or 6 different pills, and it was normal. That's just, oh yeah, that's just for high blood pressure. That's just for diabetes. That's just my medication. It just became such a normal thing for people to take all these medications, and it hurt me to see that every day. So I thought I'd go into anesthesia, and I would put people to sleep for a living, because at least I knew that they would come in and they were going to get better and they were going to go home, you know? So I started putting people to sleep for a living. And what I didn't realize at the time was I get to connect with them for 5 minutes before they go to sleep. And then I put them into sleep, and I sit in a cold operating room and I stare at a monitor all day, and I don't get to interact with people. And I was miserable, absolutely miserable. So as of September 13th of this year, I have officially resigned from my full-time position as a nurse anesthetist. To me, I just feel so amazing that I get to introduce this opportunity to my team and to all the people that I come into contact with. So I just want to give you a couple tips. 1, for the new coaches standing in the room, congratulations for being here. Good job. Find your why. Connect with your reason for joining your team. Whatever that is, it needs to be your reason. And it needs to be such a deep, emotionally connected reason that every time you tell someone, it makes you cry. And that also when you go into a conversation and you're inviting someone to your group, you need to remember that why. So that you're not showing up and you're trying to vomit all over them. You're remembering the bigger purpose, the bigger dream, whether it's to, build an orphanage in Africa or whatever it is that you dream about. And I hope that dream includes other people, not just yourself, because that's not what we're about. 2, get to events. Get your team to your events. Mark that event down on your calendar for January and commit to bringing one person. Think about that one person that you're going to bring in January, or 2 if you want to make it more. And commit to that right now, that you're going to be there and you're going to bring someone with you, because you're going to change their life. And I thought there was another one, but I don't remember. So those are my tips to get started. Just pick people's brains, pick the leaders' brains in your area, follow what they're doing and learn from them, make it your own, and go out and invite as many people as you can. We have a big job to do if we're going to eradicate obesity. So if we're first responders in the obesity crisis, let's get out there and do it. And we have a big job to do. And like Paul Zane Pilsner said at Success Club Trip, that's what I wanted to say. He loves us, but we're just not big enough. We need more people. We need more people to go out there and help everybody else. So commit to being here, and commit to bringing that one person, and commit to changing their life. Because 30 days from now, it's not about where you are, it's about where that person is.
Are you guys fired up? I want to go run a marathon. And I have a question. When does Aiden turn 18? Just kidding. Did I get the joke? Yeah? You have to be 18 to become a beachbody coach? Alright.